No Chill Sports is an unapologetic, high-energy sports show where opinions fly fast and facts hit hard. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of any affiliated networks, sponsors, or partners. Content may include passionate debates, bold predictions, and unfiltered takes that some viewers may find intense or controversial. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for chill, this ain't the place.
Holla, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets, cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocketeer and stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise here, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again.
Hey, welcome back to another hot episode of the Bayou Recap, where the passion runs as deep as the Mississippi and every play echoes through the heart of Louisiana. From Friday night lights to Superdome Sundays, we break down the best of the boot. This is where Louisiana sports lives, breathes, and roars. I know you weren't ready for that, Ant. What's good with you, my boy?
Man, you be killing me with that shit, man.
Hey, man, I had to make sure we had some actual nice little flow to it, man. But what's good with you, my boy? How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm good, bro. It's postseason baseball time, man. One of the best times of the year, man.
It is. I was actually talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, I could sit and watch college baseball all day. You put a Major League Baseball game on, you got me to the first commercial.
All right, let me ask you this. Opening weekend of college baseball this weekend, all the regionals, or the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament?
Believe it or not, I'm going to take baseball. Because I know LSU is not going to be in the NCAA basketball tournament, so I might as well watch baseball.
Shots.
But nah, seriously, man, it's I will say March Madness is I will probably watch March Madness before I watch baseball, but it's so good. Like,
I would say I probably watch more March Madness. Partially because it's a little bit easier to watch it. You know what I mean? Like all of the games are on cable. You know what I mean? You don't really have to try to go to the ESPN app and all that kind of stuff. But I do like the competitiveness of college baseball a little bit more. And I feel like there's more upsets and more like close games and clutch finishes and stuff like that in the first round of the baseball than it is March Madness.
Yeah, that's fair. But man, let's go ahead. We got a special guest joining us tonight. First guest we've had on the Bayou Recap. Well, I mean, considering this is on the second episode. But hey, here we go. But first, man, we gotta give a shout out to our sponsors, our partners over at Dubby. Dubby is a powdered energy drink aimed at gamers and individuals seeking focus and energy. It's known for its clean ingredients, no jitters, and various flavors. Dubby is also available in a hydration formula for those needing electrolytes. Dubby achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugars, fillers, artificial colors, or dyes. Try Dubby today by scanning the QR code that you see on your screen or visit them at the website bit.ly/no-chill-dubby. Dubby, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. And get ready. Go ahead, get these applause. We got our man back in the building. Welcome into the Bayou Recap. Our good friend from AYS Sports Network, being enjoyed, Daddy, Mr. Blake Ruffino. Thank you for joining us. How you doing tonight, man?
I think that's my favorite picture of Ben. Do you know how many times I send that picture to people when I'm up to mischievous shit? Like if I'm just up to some very mischievous shit, I'm sending that photo. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm on your ass. Just know I'm on your ass. I feel like that's what the cops look like when they have a radar gun out. That's their exact look. Or, you know, them old people that wear their glasses on the tip of their nose when they look down, they look and their eyes are looking at you. I'm like, hell yeah. But I think that's my favorite photo, though.
Yeah, man, Ben, dude. Hey, I told you we got. Oh, and I don't think I told you we got exclusive rights to the first interview with the Ben Bino, to talk to him about his T-ball.
Hey, hold on, pause. Now as of June the 1st, if you're in a public or if you're in school identified by the state of Louisiana. At any age you can make NIL, we're pimping this out now. We're pimping out interviews now. 6 years old, we need NIL money. So
we got them. We got them.
A lifetime supply of Dubby.
We can work some. We'll hit them up. Hey, if not, tell Ben we got a couple. I don't know if you like dealing. We got a couple of V-Bucks we can hook you up with. So get you a battle pass.
Yeah, man. God bless it. I spent more money on V-Bucks. The only thing I was worried about was getting somebody's V card, at 14, 15, much less, now all kids want to do is get V-Bucks. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
The V is still in the beginning part of the word, but it's just a different meaning.
Yeah.
Hey, you start off with Bucks, then you move to the card, man.
I don't want to either way.
Yeah,
it's gonna cost you.
I'm glad kids now that I have a daughter. I'm glad that I have a daughter. I just hope they all want to stay with the V-Bucks. That's all I care about.
Facts. Adrian said, "I'm mad. I was born too damn early." Yeah. They get all the good stuff now. Oh, Adrian,
for real.
Tomorrow, come back tomorrow, Adrian. It's gonna be your favorite, your time to shine. We got Jackson State on tomorrow, Adrian. I know you're gonna be ready for that one. So, but man, let's go ahead and talk about it. The Baton Rouge Regional. I had, did a nice little graphic. I didn't put LSU on here because I think everybody knows LSU stats, or at least, knows enough about LSU. So I didn't focus on them. But the Baton Rouge Regional, LSU, Little Rock, Rhode Island, and Dallas Baptist. LSU takes on Little Rock the first game. They come into this with an overall record of 24-32. Team batting average is 271. Opposing batting average is 282. I'm not gonna read all that. You can't see it.
Total home runs too. They've produced zero power, man. Let's just be real. Guys, that's the least in all of college baseball in the field of 64 is that 46 number. That's ass cheeks.
Yeah. The only reason they are even in this in the tournament is because they got hot. They literally got hot during their conference tournament and won out, and it's part of the reason why Troy ain't here. It's not in the field. So
true. Yeah, they got massively hosed. Did Troy? I thought.
Agree with that. It's funny. We actually just talked about that. And I asked this before we dive into the Baton Rouge Regional. Bigger snub, Troy or UConn?
If you're asking me, I would go Troy because of their midweeks and some of the games that they had upset some teams in the midweek. I mean, I understand that they don't get these big weekends,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I mean, Rhode Island's justified in the sense that they took Oregon to every brink of the elimination, like game 1, game 2, game 3. Guys, they scored in 2 games. They scored 24 runs against Oregon.
Mm.
You know, like if you want to, like, so yeah, Troy, I do feel like did though deserve to get in based off their midweeks. They played some tough opponents, man. I mean, they went in to beat Bama in one of them. I just that's what you hate seeing. It's like a team gets left out for Rudy Poo Tech, literally.
And I would also add in the fact that I think the Sun Belt is a better conference than the conference UConn plays
I mean,
in.
they have 2 hosts, 2 of
Yeah,
the 16 hosts, Coastal and
exactly.
USM.
So I mean, if you playing in a conference like that, you playing better competition every weekend. Plus, like Blake mentioned, some of the midweek games they had, I just think that they had a little better resume than UConn.
Well, and 2, I mean, think about this. The Big 12 didn't get a host regional site. You can make the argument that the Sun Belt is a better overall baseball conference than what the Big 12 is. And they got all the at-large bids. If you go look at the Big 12, all of them got the at-large bids because none of them got a regional site. So you got teams like Kansas State and Nebraska went on a run. Guys, we faced them early in the year. I mean, shit, they took Anthony Ianson and gave him every problem that he could imagine. By the way, the last time Anthony Ianson gave up more than 3 runs was against Nebraska. So you talking about some of these teams that get left out. I mean, those are the situations that we're running into.
Yeah.
I think I said
Go
something
ahead.
about that earlier. Not getting a host site for TCU. If you're the Big 12, it kind of hurts, but then you get rewarded with Arizona State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State all getting 3 of the last spots.
Right, which ironically, Dallas Baptist beat 2. They beat all of them. So that's the ironic nature of that too. Speaking of another team that's in another conference that people sleep on for baseball, DBU beat all of them.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's talk about them. Dallas Baptist come in overall record 40-16, team batting average 304, giving up 260. Their team OPS 953, opponents OPS 743, 97 home runs.
Yeah.
Their top hitter Nathan Humphrey hits at 360. Their top power hitter, Grant J, 19 home runs. They've got 104 stolen bases, team ERA of 4.97. They're fielding at 982, and they've thrown 545 strikeouts on the season. So, well-rounded team.
And they're really good defensively at that 982 mark. I mean, guys, that's elite shit. I mean, that's like top 5 in the country, 982 fielding too.
Right.
They're not gonna beat themselves.
No, at all.
Yeah. I want to ask this, but I do want to show Rhode Island just real quick before I ask this next question.
Joe De Leon's, baby.
The Rhode Island comes in 38-20. 309 batting average, giving up 255. Their team OPS is 943, opponent OPS 806, 85 home runs. Top hitter is Ryan King, hitting at 409. Power hitter is 19 home runs is Anthony DePino. 125 stolen bases. Team ERA of 6.2. Fielding percentage of 973. Strikeouts 437. With that said, biggest concern for this region, if you're LSU, for this regional, excuse me.
Go ahead, Ant. What you think?
I think it's got to be how much are you gonna get from your bats after what you saw in Hoover last week? I mean, you talked about what DBU can do as a pitching staff and what they can do in the field defensively. So they're not gonna give you, free base runners by error or by walking you for the most part. So you're gonna have to hit the ball around if you're gonna want to score runs on DBU. And that's a team that ain't gonna really beat themselves much. So if you come out like you did against Ole Miss in Hoover, it might be a rough weekend for you.
Yeah, I mean, look, DBU does scare me. I mean, listen, I think when people saw the opening or the regional people thought to themselves, oh, man, this is a cakewalk. But, man, DBU's a good team, right? Yeah. Like, they're a really, really good team. And I got to be honest with you. I don't know if Rhode Island doesn't beat them in game one. Look, I did not think going into this that I would defend the Fighting Joe DeLeons. All right, y'all go ahead and mess around. Y'all go ahead and mess around with Nathan Humphrey. Y'all go around and mess with DePino, who hit 19 bombs. Guys, think about this. Baseball is such a different sport when you talk about this. Danny Dickinson hit 18 home runs last year at Utah Valley State. He came into the SEC, hit 333. Last year, Hayden Schott came in from the Ivy League to Texas A&M and hit above 350. Baseball's different. Guys, when we look at the experience of baseball with these guys that have over 500 at-bats, go look at when they go to the SEC and what their conference batting averages are. Like, again, DBU scares me because, brother, they have 4 dudes that are going to get drafted and 1, 2, 3, and 4 in their order. I mean, like, at any point in time, Grant J can go off. By the way, he had a bomb on you. I mean, like, and it's, well, I mean, Zach Cowan, what was the first home run he gave up? Again, they scare me, but Rhode Island scares me too. I think that more than anything for me, it's not Anthony or Cade. It's when you start getting deep into that bullpen with teams that can hit the ball around. Again, I'm going to bring this up about Rhode Island. They went into Eugene and scored 24 runs in 2 games. I don't give 2 Rudy Poos who you are. That's still a really good team that you went up against. So I think it's just the bullpen for me. Can Chase Shores and Jacob Myers, like, I don't want to have like Chase Shores recency bias or Jacob Myers recency bias. If that happens, I don't know if there's a team in the country, if you're hitting, that can beat you, if I'm being honest. But the question becomes, in these regional formats, in what could be a 5-game, 6-game series, what does that look like down the stretch, man? That's the big thing for me when I look at it. To Ann's point, and I got to be honest, I just can't worry about them at the plate at home.
That's fair. That's fair.
The splits home from away, hitting 264 on the road, hitting 320 at home. It's just like I feel like they hate going to hotel rooms. You know, like I feel like they hate like traveling. It's such a name a series on the road this year that this team came through at the plate, because it just doesn't exist. Now you look at all the 4 teams that they beat at home that were ranked: Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas. Well, I mean, not Texas, Alabama. Excuse me. They just completely were different. So I just don't know if I worry about them at home. But man, if you go cold, it's gonna be rough.
And to your point about Rhode Island and even DBU, I mean, you talking about 2 teams that both hit over 300 as a team, and they both have over 100 stolen bases as a team. So you talk about that bullpen possibly coming in, putting a few runners on base, then having to deal with moving runners and guys trying to steal on them and things like that. That's one more thing that they're worrying about while they're pitching, that, you know, that just makes their job that much harder whenever they come in for those relief appearances. So I'm kind of with you on that. After your top 2 guys, what are you going to get from your pitching staff?
Yeah, and look, the only thing that or the biggest strength that LSU has going into the weekend, guys, go look at Rhode Island, go look at DBU. Y'all remember Micah Bucknam, right? Like, I mean, he's their number 2 dude. This isn't a Sammy Dutton situation, right? Like, this isn't like he went to another school and started shoving. No, my man still got rocked like he was popcorn candy, okay? Like, I mean, it was – I mean, he's still getting hit. The thing with Rhode Island, man, they got 7 guys with an ERA over 7. I mean, they went into Eugene and gave up 20 runs in less than 7 innings. I mean, like, never mind. This ain't spaces. But I remember a time when we used to say a team got beat like that. We talked about cheeks getting clapped. Yeah. I mean, they were getting their absolute asses whooped. So when you talk about Ant, like, I'm sure the conversation on y'all's show, I'm sure on everywhere, it's, do you throw Cade Anderson in game 1 or what do you do? The problem has been for me going into this has been, brother, once those 2 teams get into their bullpen, they have been so bad. They got 4 dudes with over 15 appearances with an ERA over 7. What? If you can't hit, then you don't deserve to win.
Yes, that's true, especially with staff that's throwing up beach balls like that. I mean,
they're getting rocked by everybody. I mean, it would be one thing if you had two dudes that had that. I'm looking at Rhode Island's because we did their breakdown too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zach Morris, aka Saved by the Bell. Dorsey Asino. I mean, like every one of them that they have over 15 appearances have gotten rocked. The only thing I will say though, they have this kid named Joe Sabbath who has 30 appearances on the season. You go ahead against Rhode Island and see Joe Sabbath. He going to go biblical on your ass now. All right. Yeah, all right. Y'all going to go ahead and mess around. This dude's got 27 appearances and came in all 4 games against Oregon.
Damn. Well, we got bionic arm or something.
So
the goofiest delivery that you're going to see, and that kind of stuff worries me. These goofy ass dudes thrown out there like Chad Bradford and Moneyball.
So, and they just could be the paranoia in me, but this DBU team reminds me, and I'm trying to find it, but it gives me Stony Brook, Coastal Carolina. I can't remember. I think it was ULL a couple of years ago. Houston. There you go. He was a couple of years ago. There, it just gives me those feels where LSU is the better team. They should win, but if they come in and just overlook, it's going, you just get over. If you overlook, it's just going to happen. Where all of a sudden we come Monday and we're like, what happened?
Oh man.
Because to Ant's point, people complain about pitching at times this season. And if you look at it, the last, I have to say, couple series and even in Hoover, pitching was there for you.
Yeah.
You lost because you couldn't hit.
Right.
That is, so that's, I understand, Blake, and you're right. At home, we've hit better.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a bigger concern for me, it's us getting cold at the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly can, man. I mean, I don't think that anybody can deny. And look, the last time that this happened that I remember LSU going this cold literally was the SEC tournament in 2023. Hagen Smith and dog, who was the other lefty? It slips my mind. Bro, Cruz, Tanks, Joe Baer, that same team that obliterated that Florida team in game 3. I mean, Brain Joe Baer hit 330. Right? Like, I mean, this isn't like it was in a bad situation. But man, Pooh, it can be a concern, but that was the last time that you got like shut down like that I remember. But look, Ole Miss peaked too. What's that, Ann? I'm sorry. I was talking
versus Wake Forest that year too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, bro, Rhett Lauder. I mean, bro, if you don't have Paul,
they had schools over there though, but
yeah, they did. I'm going to say his name, and I'm going to pause in the middle of it. But remember, Nick.
Oh yeah,
Kurtz went out of the game. Yeah. Did y'all see? By the way, did y'all see that their AAA team had to put a massive pause in the middle of it when they're announcing his name?
Oh man,
that was
that game too was a massive thing.
Yeah.
Hey, if speaking of that, and this off subject, go watch what is it? Is it Bad Boss?
Oh yeah,
Bad Boss 2
with Jamie Foxx.
yeah.
Horrible
like, what's the name of your what? Yeah, Horrible Bosses. That's what Horrible Bosses 2. When they started their company. Go look at that scene.
I remember.
with Key. He said, "What's the name of your company?" I'm sorry. Say what?
Yeah. As long as Steve Kerr's don't name a company after himself.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh man. Blake, you brought this up. Pitching strategy.
Yeah.
the talks of the town and LSU fans, y'all killing me. Do some research. Pitching strategy. In 2023,
Yep.
we played Tulane, and everybody was saying, "Oh, we need to rest, start Paul Skeens, wait till game 2 and pitch." Who did Jay Johnson roll out there?
Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens threw a complete game, 124 pitches, if I'm not mistaken, all 9 innings against Tulane,
And gave up 5 runs, didn't he?
If I'm not mistaken, something like that. It was, I mean, it was a blowout, but I mean, he pitched the whole game. Even last year against Wofford, who are we going to pitch? He does it every year. He's going to stick with his rotation. If you cannot trust your number 2, your number 3, or your bullpen, you've already lost your tournament. But I'll play devil's advocate. What is your pitching strategy?
I'm going Cade Anderson game 1 and Anthony Ianson game 2, and I'm living with the results. And if your bullpen that is shown to be better can't get the job done, and you can't hit off a bullpen that's been ass on all 3 teams that is not you, then you don't deserve to win. And listen, you know what's not being brought up? What's not being brought up is, let's say that you hold them. Well, what happens if you win the damn regional? What happens? You're going to throw Cade Anderson on short days rest? And then here's another thing. Hey, what was Cade Anderson's 2 worst appearances? On not coming off of a game where he had another day's rest. Both Thursday games were the games that he got rocked. Alabama, where he gave up 3 home runs. And then what was the game? What was the team that we played on Thursday? I forget. And he gave up
Texas A&M?
Might have been Texas A&M. Might have been A&M on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Yeah, actually it was. Maybe. I don't remember. Whatever it was, his 2 worst appearances on the year came on days, shorter days rest. So I'm going I'm going Cade Anthony. Now, I will tell you this. A lot of people have said if you do go Anthony in game 1 because DBU has struggled against lefties, that could be a strategy, but at the same time, then you're going to have to run Anthony back out there or Cade on short days rest. And you got to look for ahead, but you also got to win now. I'm not going to hurt the baseball gods and disrespect the baseball gods like Liam Doyle did, and then he started getting rocked. Like, baseball gods will get on your ass now.
Mississippi State. It was Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Ace Reese. You're right. Ace Reese hit a bomb on Cade Anderson in the first inning, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Jeez. Ant, your thoughts?
I mean, I'm always on the side of keep your guys on the rest and the rotation that they're comfortable and been used to all season, and not to mention if you don't throw one of your top 2 guys in game 1 and you lose, then you have to come out the losers bracket. That's 1 extra game that you have to use your arms and your bullpen in to try to win, to try to get back to where you could have been if you would have just pitched your guys in the order that you normally do. So I'm with Jay Johnson. I'm gonna keep my guys on the same rotation that they've been going.
Yeah, completely agree. Like I said, I'm leave as is. Jay Johnson has already done it. He's proven he can win that way. He's and another thing nobody's really talking about. We may complain about the bullpen or how some guys pitch, but we've seen the last 2 years where it gets postseason time, and all of a sudden those guys that have been liabilities become your heroes. Guys show up.
Yeah, I mean, Will Helmers, shit. I mean, Will Helmers got rocked his entire career, and then he came in and threw 5 shutout innings versus North Carolina last year.
My goodness. Somebody who people complained about, and then last year, everybody was like, I wish we had him, Christian Little. They complained about him the entire time he was at LSU, and then all of a sudden he got hot. He couldn't play, due to injury, and everybody was like, "Man, I wish he could have played."
What was your boy? What was your boy the national championship year?
Riley Cooper,
Ackenhouse.
Yeah, but he came over. He was highly touted, and then he didn't do nothing all year. And then
crap!
One game, and he dang, what's that dude's name? He came through for you that one game. He was highly touted.
I know he's talking.
I can't think of his name.
I'm trying to remember.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I can see his face because he pitched the day before the champion, not the day before, but the day.
Yeah, he pitched the game to get us to the championship series. Oh, dang, what's that dude's name?
Well, he pitched against Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight until I figure that out.
Hold on, I'm about to pull it up. I'm pulling it. I'm looking now. See, who it was. See if I can find it. LSU.
It was
Griffin Herring. It was a Griffin Herring. Griffin Herring pitch. Blake Money pitch. Javen Coleman. Riley Cooper. So it's not them. So
hold on, man. Let me see.
Well, Thatcher Hurd came in that game after Skeens.
That's who it is.
Thatcher Hurd.
That's Hurd.
Okay. Well, and if you remember, Thatcher Hurd started game 3.
Yeah.
Thatcher Hurd started game 3 of the Florida series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because remember, he didn't do much all year. He didn't do much. People was criticizing him all year, but he came through big in the clutch when we needed him.
Yeah, he did. He gave up one. He gave up 1 hit in 3 innings.
Yeah. Jay Johnson wasted a scholarship on a guy with a bad back. That's all we heard.
Mm-hmm.
He did have a bad back, though. I mean, my man was struggling.
Yeah. LSU is paired with the Clemson Regional. I don't know if you've done a look ahead on that one yet, Blake.
I have.
And who's over there. Clemson's not, they by a long shot don't have an easy road. But if LSU can survive, how you like that matchup with anybody over on that side?
I think West Virginia is tough, man. I think West Virginia is very tough. Even Upstate. Do you know that Upstate is like a plus 400 like on FanDuel to win the damn regional as a 4 seed? So I mean that's a tough regional. Clemson's still really good, man. They got some good players. I really have no idea who's coming out of that one because I could see Kentucky winning it.
Hold on, because that might be who it was. I was talking to Ant earlier on the rant. And we're talking about saying that they have they don't. They got 3, or not 3. But there's a team in the field of 64 that has 2 guys with 20 home runs. I thought it may have been them, but they not. But they got a guy with 18 home runs, 17 home runs, and then they got 2 guys with 12 and a guy with 11. Just them by themselves, those 5 guys got more home runs than Little Rock has as a team. But shoot, just the top 2 guys almost have as many. But if you look at that Upstate team, like you said, Ant, Blake, they can hit. They've got a bunch of guys they
can swing it.
They've got a bunch of guys who hit. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 guys that hit over 350. 1 guy is at 2 guys at 330 or better. So. I mean, they can swing.
For sure. That Clemson Regional is tough, man. I think that one and the Hattiesburg Regional is.
We've been talking about that one.
Yeah.
That's the one I think outside of watching LSU, the Hattiesburg Regional is the one I want to sit there and watch just because it's going to be so fun.
And dude, I got to be honest. As much as I hate Bama, I don't know if I don't take Bama to win that damn thing with Snell and LeBron. All right, man. Freaking Brady Neal's bad back having ass too. Speaking of bad backs, I mean, geez, that's going to be a dog fight.
Yeah. What's good, Zach? He talks about the Ole Miss region. That Oxford region is going to be fun too. So I still think Ole Miss might be in trouble. Georgia Tech is going to have them give them a scare. I think Georgia Tech's got a lot to play for. We like I said, there's another one we talked about.
Them dudes pissed, bro. You could tell about it on selection. Ain't nobody clap or nothing. They were just sitting there looking, just deadpan, man. I wouldn't want to play them right now.
Did you see that dude in the front row who was clapping and his teammate? He looked around, his teammates weren't clapping, and he was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah, they were pissed, and they deserve.
He didn't get the memo. Yeah.
Well, they deserve to be pissed. They don't make their schedule. I mean, shit. They went into Auburn and won.
Georgia Tech was the regular season ACC champ.
Right. I do think North Carolina was better than them, and I know that they didn't play, but at the same time, how do you eliminate that? I mean, they went into the number 4 overall seed in Auburn and won the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know, man. We have a very, I don't know. I'm just glad we got Rhode Island. I'm not going to make fun of the selection committee. I'm just glad we got Rhode Island.
Yeah, it could have been. LSU's the only team out of Louisiana to make it. Southeastern, your school got left out.
And their president and their AD is the president of the selection committee. How about that?
Yeah, I get it. I understand. I understand the optics and stuff, but it's gotta be, man. Was baseball just down in Louisiana this year?
No, yeah. I thought Southeastern should have. I thought Southeastern should have made it. If I'm being honest, I know they got run ruled by LSU, but they arguably have the best ace of kids that's going to go in the top 20 picks in the country. If they would have came in here in the 4 seed, we're in trouble. Listen to me. I know we got run ruled. They have a dude that will shove it up your ass. He's going up against Paul's, but they do. He's going to be a top 20 pick, and you're not going to hit him. You think Anthony Ionson's got some dirty shit from all speed stuff? Go watch this kid. Pooh, we went to a game this year. Okay, this is no bullshit. Y'all know Benny Latino, who's been in those spaces before. There was 39 scouts to watch him pitch on a Friday night. 39. They packed the place out with scouts for this kid. I think that this is what I don't agree about baseball. We dictate a tournament run based off of who should get an automatic bid. Like football, did y'all not learn this shit? Like, did you not? Am I coming in okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we not learn this shit from football? Not learn this shit from baseball? How does a team from the Southland get in because they got hot at the right time, and a team dominated all year and won their conference in the regular season? That makes no sense to me. Zero sense to me whatsoever. So, look, I'm not trying to stick up for Southeastern. I understand that they thought the optics, but guys, they won 45 games. Like, what do we like? What? 45 games? That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Paul's brings up a good point. He said a certain school in Lafayette missed out on both baseball and softball tourneys. So,
it's tough.
Says, our good man Mel said, "Ole Miss bullpen is shaky."
I would say it kind of was down a little bit this year though, because like Louisiana Tech wasn't as good as they normally are. Like he mentioned, ULL wasn't as
shit. Didn't Louisiana Tech? They beat DBU twice too, didn't they?
Yeah, but they lost to Jackson State every time they played them. Pretty much, they dropped 30. You know what I mean? Like Western Kentucky beat them a couple times. So, and I mean they still had a good year by most schools. You know, standard, they won 30 plus games, you know, but in most schools would love that. But I mean, Tech's hosted regionals in the past few years. They've been to regionals almost every year. Like, that's a down year for them when they don't make a regional. I thought Tulane had a chance to make a regional, but they came up short in the American Conference. And then Southeastern, I kind of felt like they were snub. We talked about the Big 12 getting the last three of the last four in spots. I think one of those could have easily went to Southeastern. And then UNO was, a couple plays away from being the at-large bid for the Southland. So it could have easily been, 3 or 4 teams in from the state if conference tournaments would have went a different way.
And look, the sad thing about that is I agree with Jay. I don't know if y'all heard his press conference yesterday or not, or the fans did or not. Bro, he can imagine putting in some of these teams over Texas A&M. Because A&M was down in the SEC, but bro, come on. Come on. Like they still had 5 dudes hit over double-digit home runs. Come on now, bro. And they still got swept by Mizzou. God, dog.
Yeah. Think about this. Your preseason number 1 and number 2 teams didn't make your tournament.
For the first time ever, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For the first time ever. How crazy is that?
Yeah. Blake, before we get ready to get out of here.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna close out baseball real quick. Final thoughts on this weekend. What does LSU have to do to survive the regional?
Remember in the movie Aladdin when Aladdin was trying to be something he wasn't, and the genie said you need to be yourself. As he's a bee, be yourself. Don't do anything special. Just do you, and you'll be fine. That's how I roll into this entire weekend. Be honest with you, Pooh and Ant. I run into this entire postseason until Omaha, if I'm being honest. If you be yourself, you're more talented than all these teams that you have to face.
Yeah. Ant, final thoughts on before we wrap this up?
I mean, I think if you LSU, you just got to approach this like you've approached all the other home series that you've had this season. You know what I mean? Just don't beat yourself first and foremost. Like stupid base running errors we've seen at times this year. The walks we've seen at times this year. You know what I mean? Like just don't beat yourself. Play smart fundamental baseball, and the rest will take care of itself. You're the most talented team in this regional. So as long as you don't beat yourself, your talent will outlast everybody else, and you'll come away as the winner of the regional.
Well said. Well said.
I guarantee you, no team in this tournament seen 2 dudes throw 100 plus. Bro, that guy missed this weekend too. I know the bats were. Bro, Chase Shores was sitting 100.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
Yeah. Last thing to talk about before we shut it down. Blake, I know you just talked about this on your show.
Yes.
BK said this is the best roster that we've ever put together. Not meaning his time at LSU.
Yep.
I had some friends send that to me. You know what my response was? I'll holler at you in October. I'm not doubting. I think on paper it looks good. I can't be a sunshine pumper. I believe, I have faith, but you got to show me.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me defensively, I do think that seeing them defensively, seeing them in the spring, they could be a top 30 unit. I do think at edge, they could be borderline elite. I mean that. And Pooh, just all the conversations that we've had, Ant, the conversations that we've had, I'm with you. I don't try to sunshine pump this thing. I think at edge, they might be elite. I think in the first time in the BK era, outside of it, at the quarterback position and really wide receiver with BTJ and Malik, that you have a position defensively that now can be elite. My question is, and I said this tonight, and I'll just bring it back up. You're replacing 4 first-round picks offensively from any roster that BK had? Will Campbell, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., Jaden Daniels? What? Oh, by the way, Mason Taylor was a 2nd-round pick. Trey'Dez Green's a dog, but, I mean, he's still a 2nd-round pick. I mean, he's the all-time leader as a tight end. Pooh, I agree with him. Defensively, they might be better. But offensively, you got to stop turning the ball over. I get hammered. I get absolutely abused on my show or Spaces or anytime I bring up Garrett in reference to turnovers. Abused. Okay? But it comes to a point in time where if you turn the ball over, you could have the same exact offense, Pooh, with the defense that I think that you're going to roll out there and be a 10-2 team. I can see it. The problem is that when are those turnovers going to happen? You had 17 from the quarterback position a season ago. That's the thing for me. I don't know if you can replace, talking about roster, a quarterback that got to the NFC Championship game a year ago. Like that's what we're talking about that you're replacing. So overall roster, I see what he means. I understand what he means. Offensively, I don't know about that now.
Yeah. So Zach, I'm gonna answer your question with my answer and my response to Blake. He said, what do you guys need to see from Nussmeier for him to take the next step?
Yeah, not
Blake,
turn the ball over.
Oh, well, you kind of answered the question right there, Zach, other than turnovers. Everybody talks when we talk about Nuss. They say, 12 interceptions, and the comment is, well, when you throw the ball that much, that's not that bad. And I'll caveat with this. I said turnovers. I didn't just say interceptions.
Bingo.
Because fumbles killed you too.
Yeah, he lost 5 fumbles last year.
Also, that's 12 interceptions that counted. What about the ones that were dropped? What about the ones that were overturned by penalty?
Yeah, I mean, guys, you shouldn't have beaten South Carolina.
South
Carolina's a playoff team if that doesn't get called back.
I will scream so I'm blue in the face. Nussmeier has all the talent and the traits of a QB1, as Todd McShay so elegantly put it the other day. He's a QB1. I can see it. Top QB in the draft. The problem is decision making. The problem is, for me, is dedication. He's graduated now. You can take online classes. You can be in football ops just like Jaden, just like Joe. And you can focus all day. If you are not taking it serious, then we're stuck. We only go so far. I think I think he has everything it takes to be the top quarterback. It's going to be between the ears. It's not between the tackles, it's between the ears.
Well, I think obviously turnover worthy plays is a big one. But I also want to see him play more on time. Like I think a lot of his problems last year was the ball didn't come out when it was supposed to come out. Whether that was he didn't trust his receiver, or he wanted the bigger play downfield, whatever the case may be. When he got to the top of his drop and the ball was supposed to come out, it wasn't going where it was supposed to go. And some of that could have been, like I said, confidence in receivers, or didn't really trust what he was seeing from the defense, or whatever the case may be. And then there was also times where I feel like he took it upon himself to make plays instead of staying in the offense and like trusting the offense. Like we seen Joe Sloan yell on the play on the headset, just run the play I call. I felt like there's times where he tried to go make the big play instead of taking what was available for him on that play, whether it's a 5-yard scramble route or a dump off to the running back underneath. I felt like he was reluctant to take some of those shorter gains at times, trying to get 15, 20 yards downfield. If he can just kind of play smarter a little bit at times and just take what the defense gives you at times, some of those big chunk plays will come instead of you having to try to force them.
Well, and you're also trying to hit chunk plays with 2 guys, all due respect and rest in peace to Kyron Lacey, who are not guys that you're supposed to throw the ball to downfield.
Yeah.
Some of this is on Sloan. Brother, you went and got 2 possession receivers, and you thought that you were going to open the offense up. What are we talking about? Yeah. I mean, look, all due respect, and I don't mean this, and I'm speaking about Kyron. God rest his soul. As you know what I'm trying to do here, right? Like, I mean, I'm
I
not.
know what you mean. He
You know what I mean?
like Kyron, CJ Daniels, like those guys weren't scaring defenses in terms of taking the
And when
top.
Chris Hilton went down,
Then you have Chris Hilton, who's hurt majority of it. So you really didn't have anybody that you could put out there where defenses were scared of the field stretching. This year, on the other hand, you got multiple guys, so that shouldn't be an issue for you.
And you better dump the ball off. And listen, even if they do find a running game, I don't know if he's going to run the ball enough to help him out.
Right.
I mean, like, you can't get away from the running game. Guys, we threw the ball 30 times against A&M in the second half. You weren't down the whole time in the second half. So some of this, too, on Garrett is not on Garrett in a lot of ways. But you know what? What's Joe Sloan going to do if you call an audible at the line of scrimmage and you run the ball for 7 yards? Is he going to chew you out? Get out of my face with that shit. Like, Joe Sloan's got to take a step back in the sense of if he sees something, he's got to do it. And here's a whole nother thing. Garrett checks into runs against bad boxes a lot. Listen, y'all know I don't get like this. Test me on it. I will post the shit out of it. He's running to the wrong side of the field. I don't know. I can be on my soapbox all night, but I'm just saying you got to be able to take control. And to Ann's point, when did he take control? When did he take control? Arkansas, they dropped 3 picks. That would be the only game that I would say that he took control. But even then, man.
Well, let me ask you this, Blake. So I've seen, he come out and say, "This the most talent we've ever had, LSU, all that kind of stuff." At what point do you want him to just shut the hell up and stop writing checks before the season and putting more? I ain't gonna say pressure, but you know what I mean. But like more expectations. On the team than was there. Like now, this is your most talented team. Okay, fine. 9-3 ain't acceptable.
Yeah, you better have 10 regular season wins.
Yeah, I mean, you just told me this was the most talented team you've had, more talented than when you had 2 first-round receivers and the Heisman Trophy winner. So you should go win 10 games in the regular season.
I've expressed this fear, and so Blake, you and both of you guys know. So for the audience, my fear. There's been a lot of people giving praise to LSU this offseason. Nick Saban famously said, talked about rat poison, and people were like, "Oh, he just talking and stuff." It's real. Complacency is real. You start hearing how good you are, and then all of a sudden you win a game or two, and you think that people talking about how good you are. You come out week 1 and you beat Clemson. All of a sudden now you really feeling yourself. That can hurt your team. So I will say find some humility real quick.
I just feel like until you actually go out on the field and prove something, shut the hell up. Not like you ain't earned the right to talk yet.
I agree.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think it's a level of coach speak. I do think it's a level of coach speak, but at the same time, guys, y'all know the narrative that's going to be on Sunday or Saturday night if you lose against Clemson. What's the narrative going to be? I mean, I always base my opinions I base my opinions on this current topic based off of what does that Monday headline read if you lose? What does it read?
If you lose to Clemson, that's 4 straight season openers that you've lost.
Right.
And on top of that, that's basically all of your margin of error for the season is gone. Now you had to be perfect pretty much from that point.
I mean, you have the ability to lose maybe one more, but that would be
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, technically, you could probably go 10-2, but back like you razor thin at that point with your margin of error. Like you
Yep.
walking on shells every week. You can't afford to drop any game. So I just
And listen. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I just like I understand to a certain extent. Like when you're asked about your team and stuff, like you can't just give vanilla answers and stuff. But like all you had to say was we have a great collection of talent. Cool. Nobody would have said nothing. But when you start saying this is the most we've ever had, then people are going to start comparing to what you've had in the past and expect better results than what you've had out the past.
And listen, I can make the argument right now. LSU's got the toughest schedule in the country. I could easily make that argument right now, and I think I could win it. I mean, listen, this is the quarterbacks that you face in a month. You ready? Cade Klubnik, DJ Lagway, Lenore Sellers. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, all right, y'all sleep on Florida. All right, y'all go ahead and sleep on Florida. Caleb Banks and Tyreek Sapp whip your ass now. I saw our O-line get their asses whipped by far less defensive linemen, and that's not a disrespect, but I'm all right.
And you got a brand new offensive line. You don't know what this offensive line going to be.
No, brother, they got no. Well, if spring is any indication, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. You better figure it out, and you better figure it out now. Jaden is not walking through that door. I mean, I'm just being serious. They couldn't run the football.
Yeah. My prayer is just that our defensive line is just that good. That's the only thing. Just please be that good. But I already know, man.
But you're gonna find out real quick about that offensive line. Because when you go to Clemson and you got to go up against Peter Woods and T.J. Parker, you finna find out real quick.
And T.J. Parker's a dog, man. I mean, he had 20 tackles for loss last year. 20. 20. You remember when Smokey tried to flip that 20 on Big Perm? 20. I mean, bro.
I feel like the talent is there. The question is, can you put it all together, and can you consistently get the results week in and week out? Not just from us, but can you get a consistent running game every week? Can you get a consistent pass rush every week? Can you tackle consistently every week? You know, there's so many questions on this team based off what we've seen the past few years. And a lot of it comes down to this team hasn't lived up to the same standard week in and week out. They've almost been a different team from week to week basis. So until they can consistently be elite level team in multiple phases or all phases, I ain't buying it, bro. I'm tired of getting my hopes up in the summertime leading up to the season, only for the same shit to bite them in the ass when the regular season gets
there. So we have never had all three phases good at the same time.
Ever.
Exactly.
We've had a good defense and a mediocre offense. We've had and a shaky special teams.
Yeah.
Then you had solid special teams, great to elite offense.
No, elite offense.
That was elite, bro. That was elite.
I was trying to be humble. I was trying to be humble because people throw the elite word out there.
No, that shit was elite.
Willy-nilly. And then you have a subpar defense.
Subpar.
Then yeah, I'm talking about 20 subpar, way subpar.
No, that shit was ass.
Hey, call it what you want.
Chris just said this man's spitting.
I'm just like, we gotta be real, bro. Like that was bad, bro.
And last year was mid good, with good being special teams. So I'm just
I don't know if I can say the defense was mid. I think they were
I mean,
That was mid. They was mid. Yeah, that's fair. They went from ass to mid. That's yeah. But
and another. Oh, my bad, Ant. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just like. Do you think that? Do you think they need to be like elite on every level, or do you think they need to be good on every level? Like, what level are we trying to reach across the board?
At some point in times, if you're going to get in 10-2 in this schedule, your defense or offense at some point's got to be elite in one game. One can be good to average, but at some point you got to be elite. I mean, let's just be blunt. I mean, brother, Lenore Sellers, your defensive line and front seven better be elite that day. I mean, let's just call a spade. I think people forget about what they did in the portal from a running back perspective, even with Rockert Sanders gone. So, I mean, look, and here's another thing too, Ant. In every SEC loss that you've had, you've given up 253 yards on the ground. 253. You've gotten your ass whooped. So you want to talk about look, I'll bring it back up. 253. You had two teams in 1 year run for 300 yards on you. You've had last year, you had Alabama, and then you had Ole Miss run for you for over 250. Think about that for just a moment. Over 290. Yeah. Over 290. Marcel Reed had 125 rushing yards in a quarter. So again, we talk about safety plays, an example. Like, man, Sage Ryan and Major Burns. No, dog. That doesn't happen if you don't get your asses whooped on the line of scrimmage. That's just a bona fide fact. That doesn't. I mean, and look, you did, man. Sadir Mitchell might be the most important player to this team when it's all said and done of the portal players.
Can you name the last time LSU consistently stopped mobile quarterbacks? I know the year. I literally can tell you the year.
I mean, I would say 2019, but John Rives Plumlee just scored another touchdown.
I would say fucking 2011, 2012, some shit.
2012. 2012 was the last time. And if you think, and if you go
2016 defense when Lamar Jackson couldn't go off too with Devin
White.
That was really good.
Devin White, his ass.
Yeah, that was a Devin White coming out party. Remember when he ran Lamar Jackson down? I mean, dog, it's one thing if you're running some players down. He ran down Lamar Jackson. That's a different level of. He got on giddy up on that one.
He wrote old Daisy May on that one.
Daisy May on that one, boy. Oh, shit.
Well, look, Blake, man, we appreciate you coming through to talk.
Anytime
with us and stuff. Like I said, we'll have to get together, man, and do this again before the season and stuff. We start doing our rundowns and all that kind of good stuff. But man, I was gonna say, tell the people where everybody know, but go ahead and shout people out because I know you got a lot of stuff you're working on. So let the people know.
AYS Sports on any social media platform. Ruffino and Joe shows where you can find us. 6 and 7. AYS pretty much every damn day, it seems like. And then Ruffino and Joe shows Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays. Is where you can find us.
All right. And tell the people where they can. No, I'm just playing, man. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. What my theme music? See if I can get this right. All right. We'll be back on Monday. Hopefully we'll be back on Sunday talking about the move on to Supers. But until then, we out.
Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell 'em